Test. Morning, everybody. Good morning. So we did take out previous day low yesterday, and we are hanging around here. I've seen that we actually funny. So we came in a 4 hour for value gap. We closed the candle, so let's see what brings today. If we move up, we'll probably go to that 4 hour and a 6 hour gap just above us that we have, and then see how we act off of this. If it wants some liquidity, it will head up for that level. So we just ended a 30-minute from value gap 2. We had a change in structure right here, so it looks like it wants to go up. Where would it head to? That would be that gap just above us, of course. Morning, Niklas. Morning, Wilmont. How's everybody doing today? So looking back at yesterday's move, I actually should not have hesitated to jump into this one and took that short. Because if the analysis was actually correct, what we actually jumped in, the first trade that we took was actually, or the last one that I took, was actually in here. So we wanted to sweep these liquidity pools. We came in it and actually we flushed through it. So I should have known once we broke that low that my analysis was actually incorrect and we were going for the next liquidity pool. That was actually this gap or previous day low would actually hit yesterday. No, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 minutes has been a bit of sideways. So we've been sitting here for at least an hour and 15 minutes. So let the market show its hand, what it wants to do right now. Yeah, I've seen it, Nicholas, that the account was actually pre-orb has been not very favorable last days. I was here with you, so I've seen the moves happen. But happy that everything is okay with you. That's the most important thing. So for anybody asking, on the challenge itself, I got 58 trades in right now and I'm up 27.9. So taking it slowly, step by step, we will see how far we get. If we can fill one of the lower gaps right here, especially the last one here, I would love to long this still. If we get the chance to come back down to this area. This was a nice 1 hour candle, strong and bullish. So if we tap that hourly for value gap, we can flush maybe a little bit lower. That would be a nice entry point. To long off to at least this high. So at inside that hourly we have a 15-minute right here. But let's be patient first of all and see how the market moves and where it tends to go to. Morning Arjun, how are you? Market will definitely go fill up this opening. Oh, you see it too. So once we see these kind of things, I call them opening gaps or gaps actually in the market. The real name for them is actually voids, if you want to know. If you see these in the market, this is going to be a lesson for Monday actually. So if you see these openings in the market, they tend to get filled up, and if they get filled up, you will see that the wicks of the body or the full body actually will close most of the time to the last wick, or actually almost to the full body. This is actually what happened here. So we had an opening and we filled up the full body right here. We had another one on this 4 hour. We have an opening, so it filled up the body where it started from. So this was the body where it started from, but it filled fully up. Same here, if we had one, this was the body, so this was our retest of that full move. I'll explain in depth on Monday what a void is, or a gap. Good morning, Majid. Am I still reading my 888 mailbox? Yeah, that's still online. I have not opened it today. It depends when you send the mail. Internet is a bit slow right now. I'm gonna take a look. I'll open my mailbox. I'll go take a check. Don't think you're Amber, so. I didn't need to clear something that I feel bad about. I'm not good about it yet. Morning, Anthony. Yeah, if my mailbox wants to work, I would love to see it, but at this point, I'm like not allowed to. Okay, here it goes. Can you tell me the name where you sent something with? Was it yesterday or this week or? So maybe it's not you. Nick is my step, forward plate, top step. Can you tell me the name what you sent something with? Oh, yeah. Okay, just got my mailbox just got loaded. Is it with Bulmont itself too, or is it different? I'll send you a DM, Bulmont, on Discord, so I know actually where you send it with. This would be nice to see now that we now stop moving to this lower part and then to continue again. So that would be a very nice move actually what just happened. So we just took a few hours of sideways movement, over an hour at least plus sideways movement that we took out liquidity from, and then now would be a nice movement to lower. We hit this top 5 minute for value gap fully. We didn't take the high yet. We stayed just under it. So this is still valid. We built it up liquidity, so now probably we'll take out at least the low. And I wanted to see it hit at least this, or that for value gap right here. For us, the better option would be the lowest part, to take a long off if we want to. That would be a very nice indication, even as low as we can. But we have to remember right now, the movement of the market is downwards, so I'm not gonna do the same idea like yesterday, just keeping me to my way of thinking that I believe that the market went up and we actually ended twice and the market moved against me, so I'm just gonna follow what the market is showing me immediately. How could we see the down movement from yesterday? By following the what the candles showed us actually, because these were strong candles. So once we took out this low right here, we actually changed fully the momentum. So we came down, and this was actually a stop that should not get invalidated anymore. So once we took out that stop, we knew we were gonna go actually for the lower parts or even previous day low. That's the major liquidity pool right now. So if you would watch this on another side or different movement, if you want to see it on this way, here we already took out equal highs, so liquidity pool, first liquidity pool. Here on this part we had a change in character on a 15-minute base. So right here, once we taken out those, we came into a footprint of a value gap. We took out our liquidity, and this was that stop that I didn't want to see get valid. Once that stop got then actually taken, we should have known. Once we even didn't take out that low yet, once this got retested, we should just have followed the movement of the market itself until it shows that it has strength again to move back up. But here it actually didn't. It just showed strength down. We just came in, we tapped, and we moved further. So where do we head to? Once we see these kind of candles move, we just sort of followed along with the movement of the market. That's all. This was then a new break of structure to the downside. We had a small retest. Okay, this was the full move. We only had like a very small retest off of it. We will go fill these up, of course, but not the day itself. Could you know where we fell up? Of course not. So this is what I want to see. I want to see us go lower, right to this area somewhere, and then back up. That would be Friday morning. So this is Asia low. Boomals, with what email did you send to me? Because I can't find. I seem to not be able to find it. I love to learn, so somebody has something to tell to me. I like to read it too. I'll answer to that question in a minute, Anthony. My idea is still that we will head up right now. So if we want to have some form of liquidity, we just had an infingled candle right here. So we had taken out lows with this one, we had rejection, and we had an infingled candle. So I'm believing that we at least go up to this high. So I'm still wanting to long anything that we hit into some kind of liquidity or a for value gap down below of this retracement that we could have. I would love to see us hit that 4-hour for value gap at the top, and then be patient. What happens? so I didn't. It's not in my spam. Let's see if it's in my trash can. I maybe overlooked it. Twice. I'm not sure. Oh. Okay, so I found your email. I have to translate it because there's a word inside that I actually don't even understand. Yeah, well, WordPress is not always the showing where the market is going. The market shows itself, but if we see, it took like the whole morning. This took the whole morning, and this took like 15 minutes, a half hour to take back everything what we took about in 4 hours. So we took 5 hours to move up, and it took like 1 hour to neglect everything. So I should have just responded differently. That's all. Right here on this move, you can see the difference. So just watch how big those candles are. This is way slower movement than this one. You can see the difference. You can see there is a lot of force in these candles, and if they don't slow down, they tend to move to liquidities. So in one of the coming lessons, I'll go over where all the liquidity pools are and how to spot them even better. But this was one of them that should not get invalid if the market still continued up. So this is why I took that long immediately in here one more time, and I put it in my stop like on, it was like 6 or 7 points or something like that, immediately after we pushed here back up, because I didn't want, if the market continued lower right here, or it shifted here, or it should have fallen further. And what it did take out that low, and once it actually took out that low, I should have switched immediately my bias to short. That's all. That was up to me. You can see how big candles are comparison to the other ones where the force is actually at. At this point, if we watch the full movement, this was now the full move. So we already had retraced it completely. Now we took out everything. We closed the gaps fully, or voids that are left open. and we fully filled them. I believed actually on this one it was enough. The market just intended to come and take one more time. Next week is going to be a very important week also. Because if we keep dropping, there is a lot of liquidity right here. So this would be our target if you want to go. If we keep going next week, the same movement, and we drop below this area right here, and we start to shift under this trendline liquidity, we're going to drop all the way back to 22,000. Well, then that happens, I'm still in looking for longs. We still had that retracement, so I just had to see yesterday. The market went down and I just needed to change my idea, that's all. And it's not always easy at the moment itself to change your idea if you're actually seeing the market do something while you're actually rather sure that the market should do it, and then immediately change that bias. You cannot stick to a bias. If you're incorrect, you just have to let go of it. That's why I didn't trade anymore yesterday too, because I didn't see the movement anymore. So I was patient until I see it again. If I see it, I'm going to jump in it. If I don't see it, I'm going to be patient until I see it. There were days that I can actually see the market fluidly, easy, where we took a few trades that were actually huge, and those were very easy ones to spot. If they are not easy to spot, then it's better maybe to be a bit more patient. Still here, we are still sitting at the same pace. Nothing happened yet. Pre-orb, nor up nor down, about an hour. So we are now 2 hours sideways. Yeah, 1 hour and 40 minutes sideways. And Boemans, yeah, I love to have an open conversation with you one time. If you have the time for it. Thanks for the mail, by the way. I found it. I can, if you send something, send it to Trader John. No, info@TraderJohn or john@traderjohnb.com. They all come in the same email address, so it doesn't matter which one you send. Yeah. So the only reason why I actually want to see the market move up right now, so we took out all liquidities right here. This is Asia low, or London wants to take out 8, blah 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 blah, one more time. Or London will take out Asia low. I want to continue first to that for Vatican. Because we filled up this gap fully, there ain't much more below it to go to. We swept liquidity here. We had an infingled candle on a support level. So I believe that the market, if it taps some kind of 15-minute gap just below us, that it wants to go back up to the 4-hour. This is a liquidity pool. So it needs liquidity to move, the market needs liquidity to move the market, and this is tends to hit to go back up. If this candle should have been all the way inside or below it, I would have said we're going lower at this point. But for now, because it is actually bigger than the previous one, so it eat it up, I love to have them maybe a little bit more. I like to have them actually, the bodies, 2 quarters of this. So I actually love it. If it was the wick completely, I would have said, okay, it's a full infingled, but this counts actually as an infingled candle. Then we have to watch the structure inside the movement. So we had liquidity right here. That got swept and we got rejected off of it immediately. So this tells me that the market is changing its hands. While the 4-hour showed it too right now, the hourly is showing much promising strength. We have an hourly fair value gap and some 15 minutes. So if we tap this, I'm gonna long off of it at least till this high. That's my idea for today. And if we don't get a tap, I'm gonna be patient until I see a movement up with the 5 minutes, then to continue, and then my stop is gonna be much tighter, of course, than all the way down here. But for now, it looks like it wants to go up. Multiple reasons. Liquidity pool swept right here, so actually major liquidity. Because this was the low and we hold it. So a lot of people were longing here on all these wicks that didn't get tapped in the beginning, so they were all longing off of it. And this one took all the liquidity out, and then we start moving. So this tells you that the market tends to move up. We're Friday today, and I'm not going to bore you guys today with any educational stuff. I do have to take myself a drink. So remember, if you ever see this price action, stay off of it until the market definitely shows you where it wants to go. What did we do? We hit a 30-minute right here. So we hit a fair value gap already into one. We are just sitting 1, 2, 3. These are, look, this is nothing, guys. So don't touch this until we have a retracement. So this was that impulsive move. You can take this one too with it, but I would say just the last 2 candles. This is actually the impulsive move what we had. So I want to see it come back to 60 to 70 level. So in this area, I want a long off of it. That would actually feel the same as a 15-minute that's in here. The best stop would be Asia low. If we get tapped into this gap, but I want a long off of this. If this doesn't work out like I should work out, I'm gonna try it one more time up here. Because if you take this on an hourly, this was that move that you'd see, and it would come back down here, so that would be exactly the same place of that 15 minutes. If you take the full move, then we should hit this part too, but if we get back to this area, I'll be happy to long off of it. Best stop is all the way down, so that will be a 90-point stop. Because here we have already fair value of price too. Even if you take that full move, this is fair value of price, that 7, 8 level. So huge possibility that we actually start moving from that point. But for now, just be patient, because you don't want to trade any of this choppiness. If you're in a trade and you're already in a long, you can leave it. But if you're not in anything, I would just be patient until we see the market shows you where it wants to go, because this is not the best option to do anything about. Let's go to Forex Factory for a second and see if we have any news today. We got employment change and unemployment rate at 230. So they're going to be doing something. For the rest, we actually don't have anything. We have French trade balance right now, actually. So we have small news and about in spending. And then in another 15 minutes, we have foreign currency reserve. FOMC members speak. So maybe at 9 we have some movement too. So these are the only 2 that we have. And you can see the market has actually been patient for that news. Just because of these candles, you can see how patient the news was. At 7, but wasn't really sure, and did take some profit at one point. You took it long at 7 on Emily, on NQ or on Mass. That's I like you, or on ES. Let's go with that trade. So you took a long on 7. So right here on this for value gap, I believe you took it. Yeah, this was a trade. You put your stop here, and yeah, that would have been first liquidity. This would have been your first target actually. On Mass, okay, yeah. I know your depth sometimes change, so that's why I asked. You took a trade on 7, so let's take a look. 7. Yeah. So you took the same actually that was on Nasdaq. This for value gap right here. I took a long off of probably the entry, stop at the low, previous low, if I'm correct. I took what, 1.5? You actually hit the top if you took it on 1.5. Oh nice, you even added it on this trade. Great, nice viewpoint. So you added one more time when you took something off on this level right here. Stops probably moved up then to here. And then because it started moving sideways, you closed it. So I still would get an 1 hour out of it if you took the high. Even if you took just the body, that's still 0.7. Good trade. That looks good. The only thing I could have had is once we saw that 15 minutes that you took right here on this level. If you zoomed in to a 5 minute, you could have had maybe a bit better entry. Just below it was another fair value gap. This one. So you could have had this entry instead of the previous one. Same stop, just a better actionable price. So that same trade that you took would have been a 3 here instead of. It's actually the same stop. The only thing is if you take it on a 5 minutes, sometimes they get filled and sometimes they don't get filled. Well, I'll explain also why you will take this sooner on a 5 minute also, that entry. Monday morning I'm gonna go over these small gaps in the market. Why they tend to get filled up. If you see them on a lower time frame, they always, most of the times, always get filled up. Let's see what NQ is doing at this point, and we're still at the same level. So all this time that we actually been going arranging part, we are still in the now movement. We are in an uptrend right here because we came into 30 minutes just right here. That was a 30-minute for value gap that we tapped, and these candles were strength candles, so actually nice explosive candles. They were showing us strength to the upside, and we had a bit of sideways. And you can see how good the market was actually waiting for that news candle to come out. So this is news right here. And they started to move the market. So we tapped that FVG right now. But in this full move, it looks like the market is standing to go up yet. well, I would be patient more and love to get hit one of these fair value gaps to continue long before jumping in right here. There are multiple reasons. One, we have an hourly fair value gap just below us. We have a 30-minute under here. We got a 15-minute under here, so we'll probably can fill this up before we continue. Yeah, there's gonna be an extended course coming up also about those, how you can actually zoom in to a lower time frame to get a better optimal entry. You just have to be okay with it too. If you take those entries, that sometimes they get filled and sometimes they don't get filled. Which cause probably if you have yes and you took that 5 minute, we probably even have a 1 minute there too. So this was the 15-minute, and we had a 1 minute. There was still a bit left open right here. That was that tap. That was actually the same movement. So this was your 15-minute. If you took that 5, the chart. This was that 5. This was that minute. So the smaller the time frame you take to enter it, if you see the analysis and you take the same movement, so if your analysis is you want to go up and you would take that 15-minute up here and you see a 5-minute laying under it, you can put your entry just right here. Sometimes it gets filled, sometimes it doesn't. Do you get a better optimal range? Yeah. If you're okay with being patient more, this one is perfectly fine too. This one is just a bit more exciting. So this would have been the same trade. That's a 4. That's a 3.4. If you took that minute entry, that would have been here. Same stop. And you took that same trade up to it, that would have been a 7. And that's just all the same movement that you took. I'm just letting you see it first on a higher time frame and letting you execute it on that base. The reason why is it takes a bit more time and you learn the patience. Once you also go watch the minute, you can only watch a minute chart for an entry position. You cannot go watch the minute like every minute of the trade to see the market move, because this is not good for your brain to see. It's better to not go watch the minute movements because you see too many choppiness and everything around. This is why we stay on a 15-minute based acknowledgement, and then we can enter on a lower time frame. Just to have a better risk to reward. But these lessons will come extra to the bootcamp. I believe I got about 20 extra lessons that will be about 30 minutes long, 10 minutes long, so it's about 200 minutes extra educational movies that you will have. And most of the times about stuff you probably will never have heard of before. Still at the same pace, not much happening. We got 5 minutes before 9, and we'll probably get the move at 9 o'clock. Let's be patient until 9 comes, so opening of London, and see what the market shows us. Happy to help. Yeah, just remember, if you watch smaller time frames, only use them as an entry point. Never watch them as movement. if you remember the lesson about 2.5 days ago, it's on YouTube, so you can go. I added to the bootcamp, watch it, but it's for free also at the moment. I believe it's this one, where I show the time frames that you can watch over at the end. Yeah, right here. So these time frames are aligned. So we take a 15-minute entry, so we can watch at a 5 or a 1 minute as the same entry point. So we watch the 4-hour structure, and a 1-hour structure shows us with a 15-minute for value gap. If there is a 5 minute or 1 minute in that same or very close by, you can take that as an entry. And always keep in mind that you will only get like 60% get filled. There is still about 30% or 40% that will not get tapped, and just the market will just move along without you. And then you just have to be fine with it too. Or take the next, how can I say it? The next swing that we have retracement on, immediately enter it and move off of it. I'm gonna give an example. Say that you wanted to enter on this gap here, and we missed it by like a point or two. Just be patient until you see a switch up, a small retracement, enter on the next minute or, and take that entry, then put the stop at the same place. If it does come to that entry, that you don't get stopped out, that you just put your stop where you should have put it already. And there's only, what is this? About 20 points, so that doesn't matter that much. But please do never go watch the minute constantly. That's only for a good reversal, because I thought it's not healthy to watch. It will get you a bit nervous at the beginning. But the good thing is, if you do get those entries, you can actually make a lot with just one contract. Same one mess that you took. So if you would have taken this entry on that 1 minute, you just put it one contract on this. This was a 5-point stop, and that was a 42-point move. And mass is what? 5 points per contract, $5 per contract per point. So that would have been a $200 trade for $25 giving. So that would have been a huge trade. So 2 minutes for open. Let's see what open brings. So 7 minutes, 7 seconds, 7 seconds to open. Hey, shh, rustig. Nee. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. It definitely supports the channel at the moment. I got more engagement at this point, so thanks for the help, everybody. So So here's open. The link that I put it in the chat is actually for free PDF. I know most of you already filled it in. Thank you for that too, for the help. I've got a question for everybody that's actually in here. Most of you guys had the afternoon with me together with Euros. Do you prefer me doing it alone, or do you find it okay if he is there? Just to be sure. If you prefer not, let me know. Then I'll do it alone. I'm just doing it for letting you guys see a different perspective. But if you prefer just me, just let me know. Then I'll keep doing it. Yeah. Lucia says she's appreciated that everybody helps with the emails and responding to it. It actually got my email at the top level already, so normally it takes about 2 months to get there, and because of you guys' help, it got me there in like a week and a half, so thanks. If you prefer him to be alone there too, except of me being there, then I got maybe a half day off for that day. Then I can work in the background. Then I give him the stage fully. That's also good for me. Would appreciate the honesty. So 4 minutes in open, no movement yet. We're definitely creating a liquidity right here now. So we didn't take the high, this one. But we're actually making a lot of money just above it. So this would be the optimal entry, what we got, that I would love to see happening. We will see if we get that entry. And then again, like I just said, Emily, you could zoom in further and if you want to have the perfect entry, that would have been somewhere around this area. Then you have actually the same trade that you took, but that's actually a huge one. But most of the times, they don't always get filled, so you just have to be okay with that too then. For now, still at the same level. We just took out that high. Was that Asia high that we just took out? Yeah, that was Asia high. So if we want to move lower, I want to see it happen right here. We just took out Asia high, so this is the most liquidity pool that we have right now, the nearest liquidity pool. So if you want to have a retracement, it should happen right now, back to that area to continue then. If it does not happen and we continue high, we probably won't come back. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate the words. I'm doing my best to explain it as normal as possible for everybody to understand. It's not always easy. This is something you can always, that not everybody knows too. So we have a week candle, and Friday is the last day of the week. So on the Friday, we tend to make, in the morning session or in the early mornings, we tend to make that wick. And then in the afternoon, we tend to move a bit further away from it. Because a candle always has an upper and a lower wick. We have a switch right here. If we do, I would probably dare to jump into this with a one contract. Not doing anything yet. The market does not have it easy to move above the high. It looks like. It does look different on M and Q. Here we have like equal highs, and on M and Q we took out those equal highs. Yeah. Now we got rejected twice from those highs. It would look nice to see the market now fall a bit, so that we have that retracement to this gap to continue. So if we keep pushing up, we'll probably go to this opening gap. So we still have a Valley Capture right here for 15 minutes. This looks like strong push for the first 15 minutes. We are hanging around here. If we keep pushing, we'll probably go to here immediately. We will see this soon enough. It keeps getting rejected of that area. It looks like it doesn't have much force behind it. So everybody knows my idea what I want to do. So I'm just gonna be patient until we hit those key levels and then long off of it. Until that happens, I'm not doing anything. I'm just being patient. We could short this down, of course, too, to this gap. I'm not a fan of just jumping in. So this is what I wanted to see happening. So now we will have that fall further down, what would be nice to see. If we continue to drop like this, we will definitely go at least to these lows, and then I want to see how we act. I'm online anyway, so we will enter somewhere in this area. Because you can see how much force this took a long time, and this was actually a nice forced candle. We also hit the lower gap right now, so this is a void, so we tend to fill these up. So a lot of liquidity being built up, we just took it out. So now I want to see, do we fall further right here, yes or no? And if we do, we will definitely hit those gaps. Excuse me. So now we took out null liquidity. By the way, this was probably orb. This one closest to the downside. We are definitely moving lower than orb showed it to that we wanted to go to the downside. So any orb traders right here, this would be, I believe your entry. Yeah, that was at 15 minutes. So if it closes, you can short it. We will fall at least to here, maybe Asia low, because this is the major liquidity pool. So I want to see us get like a 5 minute move back up before I enter it. So I want to see 5 minutes change in delivery state with her value gap created. We will tap that and then I'm entering for a long. And if I get off the screen, I'll probably just set a limit order at this low and one just above it, that I got two limit orders inside. My stop will be just below Asia low. Because if you watch it on a 6 hour base, we are chopping right now. So, and this is the only fair value gap on a 4 hour that's actually here. So we have an hourly what we're gonna tap very soon. But you can see how strong these candles were. We got some rejection of this area, but it's very normal. What's wrong? It's okay. What? I was loud, my friend. Oh, that's okay. Right. Shh. That was great. Sorry for the sound. Oh, my dog was jumping. Our favorite mascot was jumping again on my lap. We didn't take the high on mess. True. But that has the same structure. So this would be that hourly FEG that we hit right now, at 30 minutes for value gap. And the 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure he wants to sit down. It could be he wants to go for a walk. Normally after trading we do this. Oh, on a mini queue we didn't even tap this, so I was watching on EM. So I do want to see at least that we hit one of these gaps. So orb just breached to the downside. So if you're an orb trader, that would have been a short right here, definitely. Uh, you can take it to these gaps right here. So now we're in this is called a void, guys, so I'll explain this later on too. Not today. Monday I will go over these void gaps, how they actually get filled. And you will see that the candle will be fully closed to the body once we have these kind of openings. So now it will go to that 15 minute just below. We want to see a hit. If anybody took that short, congrats, good move. So I told you all that I was expecting this. So the reason why I was expecting it, because we didn't have force here, so there was no strength in these candles anymore. So if we hit a high, we want to see displacement above it to continue. So if we hit the lower parts of this 15-minute gap and we see like a small change in delivery, I'm gonna enter along. Stops will be Asia low. So follow along if you are an orb trader, how to do this actually. So this should have been your trade. So this would be first liquidity that we are tapping right now. If it continues, you can see it maybe go to here. But from this level, we could have a retracement back up already. So now we tap that 15-minute level. If this was the last impulsive move, that would be that 50 level we just hit. So if I see a change in structure somewhere, we'll take that long. Which short, Beaumont? Yeah, the farthest that I would have taken it was also like this area. If you wanted, once you saw this full minute got inverted actually, or you had a small retest of this, that would have been the full trade. So here we had an inversion. So if you ever see this kind of movement, so two fair value gaps laying over each other, get it inverted and fully closed, you can enter it straight off of the close, stops at the high, and then take it. You do have to put that stop then at the high of that. This was a decent 1 minute candle. It was a clean trade, almost 2 hour straight out of here. I see it go at least to this level. Was expecting it just because of you can see how much slower those candles were. Look, they didn't have any force. They moved 1, 2, 3, 4 times at that level, and they didn't breach above it. And then once we did, we had that straight back into it. So this is a lack of displacement. We want to see displacement and follow those moves because those have strength in it. So once we get to the lower part, I want to see some kind of change in delivery on a 5 minute base, and I'm going to enter. Hold on. So, still being patient. Been here for an hour and a half. No entries yet. Not for me anyways. Happy for you, Beaumont. I'm very happy to see you all grow so much in the last few weeks. Some started from knowing actually nothing to already being able to execute trades with actually confidence to take it. And this in less than 12 weeks actually, so that's very fast, I do have to admit. So here we have that still that move. It will come down to at least this level. And I want to see some kind of change in delivery state to take that long up. Because we could just fall straight back to this low too. If we can enter somewhere in here, that would be an optimal entry actually. take this. Not done anything yet, still watching. So if we now create a fair value gap on this 5 minute here, and we can re-tap that 5 minute fair value gap, I would enter along and then put my stop at that wick. So be patient until we see how we move off this gap right here. So if it goes up, it will probably tap this. Then I want to see a 5 minute fair value gap get created out of one of these candles, get tapped, and then continue to the long. So we came into a 15 minute right here. We got a bit of rejection. We still got 3 minutes to see what happens. We came in an hourly for value gap 2. So if we have a 5 minute that shows a strength to the upside now, I'm going to enter this and then continue to long. Because on a 3 minute base we just had an inverted for value gap. What looks like it wants to show us that it wants to go up a bit. But still being patient, we still got 2 minutes 20 in that 15 minute candle, so until that candle is closed, it can't do anything. The good thing about a continuation trade is to, if we are now correct, we are actually very fast stopped out. Just like yesterday, what happened when we were incorrect right here. This just went straight through my stop. I'm still being patient, Anthony. That was definitely the tab that I wanted to see. So we had a 30-minute right here, we had a 15-minute and an hourly gap. I want to see now a 5-minute fair value gap get created out of this. Just because we got rejected off this high, the market still shows a bit of strength to the downside, so I want to see a 5-minute fair value gap get created right now to enter it and then long off of it. We will have a better and optimal entry then. So once we create a 5 and get a tap of this, that would be my entry that I want to see. Because we have 5 minutes just above us, I want to see how we act off of this. Do we flush through that? Then we'll probably get the next 5 minutes easy entry to continue. Then it would look something like this. That's straight. Yeah, way better entry. So that would be stop then. This would be our entry spot. Because I was being patient for this move to happen. But the only thing I'm watching right now is the movement was down at this point. So I want to see how we act of this 5 minutes. If we continue and then tap it, I'm happy to long off of it. If you're already into it, congrats. That would be a 15-minute retracement. Like I teach you also. Not even sure how far this came, if that was at 15 minutes. Yeah, I came to that 6 level, so nice entry point. Yeah, I've seen it too. This is why I wanted to be a bit more patient. The movement is up right now, so if we watch a higher time frame, we can see that 4 hour was chopping, that 1 hour hit that gap. So if we go back and like make a doji candle in the next 10 minutes, I'm sure we will continue up. Because it took 1-2 hours of liquidity right here to continue moving. So this is just what I'm being patient for right now. For me it looks like it wants to continue high. That would be the normal play. So any 5 minutes that we get created. So we do have a 5 minute now at that low for value gap, but if we don't get that tap, I'll look for a different. So the next 10 minutes is for me more important to see how does this hourly close. If this hourly closes all the way down here, yeah, this looks like it wants to continue lower then. So this is why I'm being patient, because we got rejected from Asia high. We came in for value gap. What strength was showing us to go up. We took a liquidity pool. So now I want to see, do we continue up higher? Yes or no? If we do, we can jump in easily. This is why I didn't want to jump straight into this trade. My daughter is very happy today. She is singing along with something. I have no idea what, but I hear her sing to you. Alles oké, Juliana?
Ja hoor.
Goed, bent u aan het zingen? Ja, toch zit. Azul is always hot. It's a dog. We got about 5 more minutes in this hourly. If we go back to the highs, that would show us that we definitely have strength again for the upside. So in about 5 minutes, I will determine if we can jump in. And we do have somebody that speaks in about 5 minutes too. I had to build as much patience as you. Arjun. Oh. Yeah, it's possible that he learned to sing from Oliana. They are very good buddies together, so. Oh. Mm-hmm. So I just want to see how this hourly closes right now. It looks like it wants to go up. If it goes up, we can enter. We will long off of it. No doubt about it. So 50 seconds until that hourly closes. Let's see what it brings. zuster. Mama heeft het gestuurd in de groep. You ask for new people to join, so this way you will be able to see people from.
Subscribe!
So I already closed inside. Not the strongest push that I wanted to see actually. I wanted to see it close actually way up higher. I'll give it 15 more minutes. If I don't see an entry, I'm just gonna put a limit order down here. I don't got a feeling that we're yet going up. Most of the times if we have an hourly rejection, we have something like this, fully back up. So once we hit it for value gap, we have actually a full close. Now we stayed still under that wick. Not the best price action, we have to admit today. So probably will not be a trading session for me. And again, if you're a trader and you still have to be okay with it too. If you're here and you listened and you followed your plan and you didn't see the entry that you wanted, you just have to be okay by letting it go too and say, today is not the day for me. Because we're actually trading on both sides, so the reason why I didn't want to enter straight off of this gap because I wanted to see it actually fall a bit further. We got rejected off the high. We had a retest of a 15-minute, like Beaumont's also said. We were actually inside two of them, so we came below one, we had above one. We did hit most of the fair value gaps. And now we're just being patient what the market wants to show us. But if we zoom out a little bit and we actually take a rectangle here, we can also see that the market was chopping right here, or actually ranging. So was doing this. So we can easily come back to the lower part and then come back up. For now, it looks like I will not have an entry today. I'm okay with it. If I see any, I will definitely share it in Discord. At this point, I don't feel it. The only thing that we could have taken was maybe this 15 minutes, but it doesn't look like it will end up great. I wanted to see how this 1 hour closed actually. If this one closed it all the way up, I would have definitely said this is very good for us. We can take this entry immediately. Same, I was watching then this 5-minute candle right here. We did not get above it, so we got like rejected off of this. That was a 15-minute too. Orb showed down strength, and I was expecting the price at least to come to this level. So multiple confirmation telling me that I should not have jumped in the market at this point until I get my optimal entry that I want. Nonetheless, happy to be here. I'm being patient. So anybody wants to know how far I am on that trade challenge that I was up to, I'm on 51,400 and a bit right now. On that account. So I'm up halfway. Yes, looks different. Let me take a look at ES. Yeah, if you watch ES, you would say that we are falling lower. So we had a 5 minute, we tapped, we didn't go up high, we had a full body close below it again, so this looks strength to the downside. So for ES, it looks like it will take this low. Yeah, yes, looks definitely different because we didn't take that high, we got rejected straight off of it, and this looks just that it wants to go a bit more down. Okay, will be another trading day for me. If I see any entries, I will definitely let you guys know. If we hit that level and I see some kind of change in delivery, I'll make an entry on this. If we do not move further up and we continue, we will probably take out Asia low and then have a swipe up. Because we need a wick under the candle, and this is now that wick right here that we have actually of the week. So we do need a little bit of retracement anyways. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you all back in the afternoon session on Discord.